will put that in the music.
Yeah.
These younger artists, they're not saying shit either. So where is the connection as a
the young
consumer?
artists don't even know how to talk.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'm like, they're not doing interviews because they don't know how to speak.
Half of these young artists speak. Like, they don't even know how to talk.
But y'all say that, but there's also this other group of artists that are now content creators. They're media.
Yeah.
Like we always do the City Girl #7 as a joke, but Young Miami is good at what she does for the purpose of it. There is still a side, and those people that could do great interviewers are now becoming the media.
Yes. Everybody's media. Summer Walker's media. Camron's running like he's Stephen A. Smith. It's what we're dealing with.
Why are you saying like he's Stephen A? Why he not running around like Camron?
Cameron to be that.
That's what people be mad at you about when you say shit like that.
Which I think he should lean into. Be the old villain.
That was hate.
Elliot Wilson has always had this weird laugh, this super weird laugh that is like OD. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been very, very weird. I know a lot of people that may not have been outside in the 90s and the early 2000s that's not familiar with The Source and XXL magazine way before social media really started popping off. You may not be familiar with Elliot Wilson, but Elliot Wilson come from the days of Benzino and Dave Mase and all of those guys, and they come from a whole nother cloth or from a whole nother era. But what Elliot Wilson is having trouble doing is adapting to what the landscape has been. And so as a result, he's hating and he's lashing out at different people on different platforms that is basically taking his wave, similarly to how legacy media people are lashing out at YouTubers, but then at the same time, they want to become YouTubers, but they're not as good as YouTubers, but they trying to leverage their visibility of what they've been able to create into getting into the game because they know that this is where the media is going or this is where the money is, or they've pivoted too late and they've been locked out of the game because nobody is really checking for them anymore. So now what you see is Elliot Wilson lashing out at people or lashing out at the landscape because he's basically a dinosaur. And so that's the way he's still creating visibility for himself.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I think people be mad at you.
Oh, it's hate.
Cam is running around like he's Stephen A. Smith. No,
why is he support journalists? Because he has an opinion? Why?
But him and Mase have proved to have a good opinion that people care about.
He got Mase having a job and really like check because the bag is there.
But Elliot, you don't think that we all come from the culture of we all sit around in our neighborhoods in front of our buildings.
But Mark, don't make you a journalist.
But I'm just saying we all sit around in our groups with our friends and talk about
our opinions,
music.
Absolutely.
That's all these guys are doing right now.
But that's not fair. Is Shannon Sharp a journalist?
No, but that's the
or
easier
have
bridge.
Experience from it.
That's where the athlete becomes the media. That's the easier Charles Barkley. That's easier transition.
So why is it easier for the athlete but not the artist?
It's not easy, but I don't like it because, like, you imagine, like, this is the shit I do well, and not everybody want to do it, and they get the celebrity off that shit.
Don't like it.
Who's to determine who does it the best? That's what I'm wondering. Who's to determine who does it the best? I think that I'm the best at doing a morning show. I believe that I'm the best at the news. But it's the people that determine who's the best because it's those that retain the biggest audience. Now, you have the independent people like myself, and then you have the people that are being subsidized by the major networks as being promoted, and it's a lot of money that's coming behind them, but you can't control the people. And when the people choose, it don't matter how much money you got behind you, eventually they're going to determine who's the best. And so a lot of these people are mad. And let's be clear, everybody that jump into the game or become a YouTuber or become a content creator or do any of that type of stuff, it don't hit. Most of these guys fail. I will tell you that there are a ton of people that got into the game, journalists, platform people. One of the biggest people that we like to talk about is Joy. Is it Joy Reid? No, Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor started a platform with the Joy Reid chick, and it didn't hit. At Too Personal, it just wasn't popping. She's still trying, but you know she's still on the major networks, and so she still got her job. It's plenty of NBA players that started podcasts that's just not hitting. On the flip side, Gil's Arena is incredibly well done. It's still space for Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp because they are doing their thing on the flip side, and they may compete with each other, but at the end of the day, they still are good at what they do. TNT, Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, they got TNT, and that's popping. On the flip side, nobody wanted to see Charles Barkley and what he was talking about with Gayle King. when they did that King Charles shit. It was trash. And so, the people are going to decide what's hot and what's not. And some people are able to get away with it. Some people are able to transition and other people can't compete. It's not the same. It's not the same. So, Elliot Wilson, I believe, is just mad because some people are able to pivot. Some people are able to get in a different game. And some people are able to capitalize off of it. And Camron is one of them. And I don't know why he chose Camron and Mase. I don't know why he chose Cam and Mase to go at, because they petty and they don't let nothing pass.
Because you feel like they're not coming to the journalists to have these conversations.
I'm real with that.
Which affects your
best I ever do is me with that. So then you want to be that off celebrity of what. So I can talk about that. I don't like that shit, and not be a hater. Yeah. It's reality.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
You don't like it because you don't think they're good at it?
I know I'm better at it.
Okay.
It's me. It's my life.
Okay.
But Elliot, what will make you better at it? Because in this day and age, it's just not about getting the information right. It's about who's more entertaining. So who are you to say I'm better at this than them? When
I'll prove it to you I'm better than you. Like I'm the best. I'm more informed.
Are you better at telling a story? Are you 100%. Better at getting accurate
They're not better. Like that shit cringeworthy. I watch that shit. It's not good.
Yo.
Shit ain't popping. It ain't popping.
That's all hate. That's all emotion and that's all hate. And if you better at it, then beat them. See, the internet is the great equalizer to an extent because there's no barrier that's preventing you from being able to get on there and do it. Then do it. If you better at them then do it. Beat them at it.
I don't agree.
What's the Camron interview? Was like, yo, Camron really asked the questions. Like, what are you talking about? No.
But what interview did Cam take away from something of, let's say we're the hip hop ilk. Even if Maul and I aren't journalists, we're still in hip hop media. You are a hip hop journalist. What interview did Cam take away from us?
They have celebrity has access to different things that I may not have. And again,
you gotta work.
I do feel like they underperform.
See, I think I have to put back there because you have had
got access to things
25 years of relationships with publicists, PR interviews.
Work my way through it.
The three majors where Cam is a celebrity and has relationships for him being in the game for 30 years. But you have direct relationships with the majors that the rest of the podcasting world never had. So you still do have that. I think we have to go back to the period at the end of the sentence of what the fans want. And with Cam or Young Miami, maybe they just want to be entertained. With Kai, they just want to be entertained. They don't want to be informed. They don't want to be informed.
The access goes to them above me. That's the problem I have. That's what it comes down to. You see what I'm saying? Because it seems sexy. Like, yo, Cam's the sports reporter now. Hey, woo,
okay, but let's not act like that's not always been hip hop or entertainment at the time. We've seen things that were hot and then failed immediately. But at that time, that was the hot shit that people went to.
And
that's like any genre.
They don't have to fail. It's all good. They can do their thing. I'm just saying, like, yo, I'm competing. I want a shot. I'm in this. I'm still here. I want to compete.
But
then compete and stop crying and complaining about it. And so again, I just think that he a dinosaur. They haven't been able to adapt. Change is inevitable, and if you don't adjust with change, or you don't embrace change, then ultimately you are going to be phased out. And you can sit here and you can complain about it. I will tell you that there's probably a large majority of people that is in the game, that is in the podcast game, that's probably haven't never heard of Elliot Wilson. If you're not a hip hop head, if you wasn't born in the 80s or the 70s, and you probably never heard of Elliot Wilson. And you might have been born in that era and you just wasn't reading those magazines. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. I think it's a bad move to hate, or maybe he's just using it as getting more visibility for himself. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.